On today's show.
No, she can't go. She can't go. She can't go. She can't. She can't go. She can't.
This is K-Rockcast, the podcast where music and perspectives collide.
I'm Anne, a music lover who's the ultimate fan.
And I'm Kelly, a professional musician. Join us as we dive into the world of the Rose and other Korean and Asian rock bands.
Sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we'll wildly disagree, but what's guaranteed is a passionate, hilarious, and unfiltered conversation about the music that unites us and the bands that inspire us. Hi, everybody. We're back. This is a special Hot Takes episode, Into the Break. So, how are y'all doing, Black Roses? We know that it's been kind of a rough couple days given the announcement. And I think Kelly and I just felt like we were getting a lot of questions coming into the K-Rock cast. And as we always say, we feel very honored that so many of you, really look to us for our thoughts and our perspectives. And we just felt like it was important for us to come on and kind of share those with you today. I have to say, Kelly, it's kind of, we were, joking because, we were lighthearted people, right? Like the world isn't ending. Though we can be sad and we appreciate that, but we were laughing a little bit. I think one thing we felt like, while the Rosarium is dead, the garden can live on, Kelly, because we have a home.
We do.
K-Rockcast.
We do.
We do. And
true.
weren't we laughing? We said a couple of things. We said, it feels like a war has just broken out and we're collecting the refugees who got shoved out of their country.
He's like, go on, quick, hurry up, we'll take care of you.
The Rose might be kicking you all out of the Rosarium, but come to K-Rockcast Patreon. We accept everyone.
We do. This is true. And I must admit, there was a moment I felt like the unsinkable Molly Brown as the Titanic's going down. It's like, get to the lifeboats! Get to the lifeboats! And there's the Rose just playing as the ship sinks.
You know what? And guess what? Anne is there playing the triangle in the back with them. Because you know me, I am like a forever... I'm just going down with them in the ship. I can't help it. I know I'm a sucker. I'm bailing water. I'm like, it's okay, guys. I'm like on the Rosarium making posts to the end. Tell us your favorite song off world. Come on, you can do it for the last 3 seconds before they turn the lights off. Well, Kelly's over here like, fuck this shit. I let this shit go after we did the Into the Fandom episode.
Correct. Correct.
I will say, Kelly, we had a lot of our listeners and viewers DM us that they were like, you guys called this.
Yeah, I wish we hadn't. It's not been looking good for a while, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. So today it's probably going to be a quick episode, or like Kelly and I are probably. It probably will be 30 minutes. But anyway, we keep waffling on.
I am not saying you like the sound of your own voice, Anne. But it may have been thought every now and again.
Well, we're going to give our perspectives. We're going to kind of give our reaction to the announcements, but I think we do need a disclaimer. Yes. Again, we have said this before, but we will say again, K-Rockcast does not work for the Rose. We do not represent the Rose. We are not in contact with the I literally had people, Kelly, DMing you and I saying, well, do you know something that they're not saying? Like, no, I don't. No. I'm not on text level with Dojun. Sorry, I'm not. No, I don't have any insider information that. So, I mean, we are not saying that that anything is fact or that we have some insider knowledge. This is just our own thoughts and perspectives.
This is our own thoughts, our own perspectives, generally speaking, educated guesses. Because of being in the industry front and back for as long as I have, and Anne knowing the band inside out, back to front and upside down, it gives you a perspective. And I mean, most of this is common sense. And I will say this again before I go into an overview of what's happened. The Rose are their own worst PR. There's no way around that. They're their own worst PR.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, an overview of the announcement. So, on the 1st of December, the Rose announced that their fan application, the Rosarium, that they were taking a break for a bit and will close the app and the fan club effective that day. I'll read you the letter. And this is exactly the same information that was posted on the Rosarium as well. Rosarium, thank you again for being part of the Rosarium app. It's been amazing connecting with so many of you. The Rose is taking a break for a bit, and we have decided to close the app and fan club as of today, December the 1st, 2025. We're grateful for everyone who's been part of the Rosarium and supported the band along the way. All active memberships will be automatically cancelled. You will not receive any further renewal charges for your subscription. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to info@therosariumhelp.com. Yeah. Well. Terribly.
Yeah, that was it.
Terribly written email. Terribly.
Do we think like AI technology helped write this? Like I can't fathom a person.
Don't know.
Like, who wrote this?
I tell you something, if it was a PR company, they weren't firing. It is atrocious.
Or is it a mysterious administrator that everyone thinks exists on the Rosarium?
Probably. Yeah, it's just
this mysterious fan engagement service they apparently use. What?
Oh no. Yeah, let's not go there.
It is the worst. It is the worst written communication. Ever.
It's atrocious. So obviously this caused a hell of a lot of panic. I mean, when an email title starts with "The Rose are taking a break," people are literally
oh my God,
going to panic. You do not
that's
something with "The Rose are taking a break." No,
you're right.
Is you should send out an email with an update to the Rosarium application. Not "The Rose is taking a break." Sweet, sweet mother of God, whichever idiot, and I say that in the politest way possible, formatted this email.
Yeah.
They were working for me. They won't be working for me any longer. Wow.
Yeah, I think I kind of forgot about that aspect of it. You're exactly right. And it's the panic. But you know what, Kelly? This is what we talked about throughout some of our other episodes. This has been happening since the World album launch. We've been talking about this since the first shitstorm happened that actually pulled Sammy onto a live stream in March.
Yeah.
Because the name of the album got leaked out and people were like, what the hell is this? What is this? And he felt the need to come on and he gave us all those
embargo
spoilers. Yeah. But it was like, after that, it just was a continuous misstep and miscommunication and continual causing of panic to fans and not understanding. And I think what the Rose, unfortunately, has done a horrible job doing is they don't communicate properly or at all.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I am reminded of one of my friend's fathers who always used to use the wonderful line and analogy of a person that was slightly plumbed off and always used to say, they only need half a lethal injection. I've never known anything as bad as this. It's caused panic. Now, if you read it as it was first read, as most people did and didn't go back and reread it again, it made it sound like the band were going on indefinite hiatus. They may be going on
Right.
hiatus.
And
However, this isn't the way
Yeah.
to announce it.
Yeah, I think that is what is the panic, right? And then it's the unknown. And
Yeah.
so now people spin up all their different theories because we don't have clarity or real information from the band.
So I'm going to give you an educated guess coming from the world of somebody that obviously works in this side of the business. But I also have to pay the bills. So I also have a day job as well. And my day job is dealing with contracts and terms and conditions and all of that wonderful stuff. This is more than likely the result of the move away from Transparent Arts, because the contract would have been signed with the management company. It wouldn't have been signed with the record label. And they will have more than likely been given the actual ability to re-sign as artists or as the record label. And for whatever reason, they've decided against it. Now, we know there's been performance issues with the app. The app ain't apping. It frequently didn't app. I mean, it's a great idea, but it never necessarily did what it should do. However, when that happens, you bring the vendor in and you tell them that they're not fulfilling their part of the contract. And this has always been one of my biggest bugbears. They don't look at contracts. They don't necessarily take on board the information that's there. And they don't necessarily act upon it when it should be acted upon. And that's me saying it from somebody looking at it, because if this landed on my desk, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? This is ridiculous. Complain. And I don't necessarily think that's ever happened, which is ridiculous. And I think they've looked at it and they've gone, this just isn't working the way that we want it to work. We might be better off going to a platform that we already use or we've used in the past, or there might be something else that we can potentially use to do the job. It's a shame. Now, one of the other things I'll say, a lot of people were very, very, very disgruntled by the fact they'd not received any form of notification prior to the notification on the day. Normally what happens is when you cancel a contract for a service with a vendor, you are given a notification period. That notification is normally 10 to 14 days. And then you also have a period following this, which is the actual termination period. And a lot of the times, dependent on what the actual clause is, it'll be 30 days. For whatever reason, somebody shit the bed and went, oh God, damn, we've not notified everybody. And a panic email went out. And I honestly and truthfully think that's what's happened. They've suddenly realised that actually service is cutting and they've just dumped this out. And just really sort of pulled the rug out from underneath people's feet. The Rosarium was very much an application that people felt at home. They used as a safe space. They knew that the people that they were talking to were safe people. And if they were talking to the band, it was the band. I've said this before. They weren't talking to somebody masquerading as somebody else. And that's been taken away. So that's another reason people are angry. I did notice something, because so me being me, I had a look at the T's and C's. And the terms and conditions were actually updated on the 15th of October, I believe it was, this year. And there was various things put into the terms and conditions that none of you will have read. And I don't necessarily think anybody was notified about. And that basically states that they could amend, alter, or discontinue the app without prior notification. And that is what's been done.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think when we did that Into the Fandom episode, and I'm trying to think of when that one came out, I feel like it could have been back maybe in like October. That's when it really, really died. Like it
Oh,
really, really
it
started
was
to
dead on its
die.
last. There's been bits and pieces where it's picked up because, you know, there's been a photograph of somebody somewhere, or, you know, there's been a little bit of news dropped in, and then everybody just dived to express their opinion on it. But the thing is, I mean, we've always classed it as a garden. The garden only grows when it's watered and fed.
I think as we said in the Into the Fandom episode, there were, you know, a core group of us to the end that were
Yeah.
trying to keep it fed.
Yeah.
But even that small core group of us, like it would be hours would go by before anybody would comment on anything or post anything. But I think as you said, and you kind of said in that Into the Fandom episode that, you know, that this could fall under the contract with Transparent Arts.
Yeah.
I think it would make very much sense that the services for this app fall under that. And we know that that has been ending and now probably has ended.
I think so.
And it makes sense that there are also, I think, in terms of like on a break, I mean, I think as we said, even in that episode, I said it, like, I want them, I think they need to take this step back. I think they need to think about where they're going and what they want to do, and have the staff and the management support that they need to be able to achieve whatever it is that they want, you know, as a band. And I hope this kind of break period allows them to do that. I'm just so disappointed in them in terms of how poorly, you know, it was communicated. But as we said at the top of the episode, Kelly, there is a home for Black Roses that have been kicked out of the Rosarium. Why don't you talk more about our garden that we can keep alive?
So a while back, we set up Patreon. And we literally set it up because we wanted a place for people that listened to the podcast to be able to come and talk to us and tell us what they thought and give us feedback. Because we're the type of people that like to know what people think and how they feel. And sometimes whether it's positive, negative, we just want feedback. We knew we wanted to be able to create a community where people were there and enjoyed music. And it's been a lovely little community. We say good morning to everybody, and we all talk during the day and discuss absolutely everything you could possibly think of. And it's just become this lovely, safe little space. Now, obviously, with the demise of the Rosarium, so we don't all lose contact because we're a family on there. Just to say, look, if you're not keeping in touch with people on Discord, because there's the old Discord still works. I'm a member on there. I very rarely use it because I'm a member on about half a dozen different Discord things. There are various communities on Facebook and Instagram and everything else. But we just knew that it was somewhere where people could chat and they could discuss whatever they wanted to discuss. So if you want to join, it's free to join. There's no charges, just to use the general chat. You will see the mass majority of posts. Obviously, we do have a paid access as well, but there's a reason it's a paid access, because you get exclusive content. There are different chat rooms as well for people who are premium members. And on top of that, they also get like merch bundles. And we also do live streams and sit and natter on Zoom calls for hours and hours about random stuff. We just wanted to throw the doors open to everybody and just say, look, here's a life raft, here's the Ark. If you want to come over, we're here. And generally speaking, it's a place where we just discuss music that we love and lots of other random things.
Yeah, so if you're feeling sad, you're looking for a home, please join us at K-Rock Cast Patreon. We will have the information at the end of this video, but it's also going to be linked in the episode description. If you follow us on Instagram, we'll be posting as well how to join Patreon. So we hope that we'll see you over there. So why don't we wrap up, Kelly, with kind of during this break? I think it's important. A lot of the other kind of fan accounts have made it very clear that, even if the Rose is on a break, they're not, and we're not. So K-Rock Cast is going to continue. We are going to continue to deep dive into the Rose's music. We'll be spreading out their discography. They still have a lot of music we haven't explored. But I think in order to spread it out, it gives us more opportunity, as we have been doing, to explore other artists. So you'll see us continue to do deep dives into other artists, to introduce our listeners and our viewers to a lot of other great musicians that are out there. So that's also a thing we love from our Patreon members, is to suggest artists. The CN Blue episode that was very, very popular that we did recently, that was a recommendation from our Patreon group. So by joining Patreon, you can help shape what episodes and artists we might be exploring. You can continue to support the Rose. I encourage everyone, if you love their music, it doesn't mean you have to stop listening to them just because they aren't active. So you can continue to stream their music. Kelly, you're in your dark period. We get it. You no longer.
Hey,
you no longer.
I can't keep doing this forever.
I am not in my dark period with the Rose. I will champion them. I will champion their music till the end. I can't help it. But I just want to encourage listeners too, you probably listen to their music because they gave you comfort. Yeah. And that doesn't have to change just because they're not active right now. So please continue to support their music. There's also a lot of other great artists. So, explore other artists too during this break. And we have a wonderful segment with K-Rock Recommends. We have some great content planned for the new year with more new artists that we want to introduce to you. So hopefully this gives you an opportunity.
Can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
So the Rose has been replaced in Kelly's heart with a new group.
Yeah, they're out the door. They're gone. Say that. I was just going to say that we've got some really lovely interviews lined up for next year. And I'm really excited.
Are you gonna spoiler?
I'm not going to say who's. But we do have some really, really good interviews coming up, and I'm really excited about all of them.
Yeah, I'm excited too. But yeah, I just kind of hope that during this break that the community can stay alive. I think that's my hope. Yeah. When I fell into loving the Rose, that community was such an important part for me. Yeah. And so it's honestly been breaking my heart. It's been breaking my heart to see people like you pull away. It's been breaking my heart to see people feel less connected to them and their music. And so I just want to continue to do what I can do to keep people connected, because I personally, I don't think they're going away. I think this is a break. I think this is a break that they need. I think that, and obviously, again, disclaimer, I don't know Sammy's condition. I wonder if he needs time. Medically, he might need time, and he might need time to rest. I also think, personally, I think he wants to focus on his personal life. I think This is a time in his life. I think he wants to focus on his relationships and lay in some roots
Possibly.
that he's never been able to do in his life. I think Tay, through some of the posts he's been doing lately, I think maybe this is his opportunity to explore modeling or acting to kind of give him something else. Obviously, we've seen Dojun writing for other artists. He just had a song come out recently that he wrote the lyrics for, Korean artist. I'm still manifesting that this man's going to have a solo album. This is a perfect opportunity for him to come out with some
If that
solo
solo album
music.
comes out, I'm back.
You're back for that.
You know I'm back for that solo album. Only that solo album.
I'm not sure about Hajun, what I think he's gonna do during the break. I feel like for him, I don't know if he's ever written for other artists. What we learned through the documentary is he's a tremendous melody writer.
Yeah.
Like he can just come up with these melodies. So I feel like for him, that would be a nice challenge maybe to do more writing for other artists if he's not able to record,
Yeah.
with the Rose. I don't know. Do you have any predictions on what you think they might do during the break?
I've no idea. I really don't know.
I'm very curious. We've only been seeing more interest coming out from the Rose documentary and production crew around trauma. It is under consideration for Oscar nomination for both documentary feature, but also original song.
Yeah.
And then we have the documentary theatrical release in 2026. So I'm kind of curious what the level of involvement, the Rose will be in any promotional activities around the film. So be interesting to see that.
I think the reason that I'm kind of struggling to sort of predict anything is because I know what I'd be doing. And obviously what I'd be doing is not what they're doing at all. It's the old adage of when you run your own business, you never really take a break. Your own business is your life. You never really stop. You only really get breaks when you work for somebody because it's written in law and in mandate. So either they're working very heavily behind the scenes and we're just assuming that this is a break. I'm not 100% sure. I'm really not.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through.
All right, well, that's it, listeners and viewers. We just wanted to come on, hopefully help you guys deal and process with the information as we all are. Make sure all of you know there is a home for you at K-Rock Cast. If you haven't joined Patreon, we hope you do. If you have, welcome. We'll be happy to and excited to continue to engage with you through our various social platforms. And as always, please rate our podcast. Leave us comments on this episode. Tell us how you're feeling about the situation. Let us know in the comments if you've joined Patreon so we can look out for you. If you don't already, follow us on social media on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. We are at KROK_cast all across the board.
Click here to subscribe.
Our door is open. You can always email us if you just want to talk to somebody or talk about how you're feeling. We always respond to your emails. So krock.cast@gmail.com is where you can contact us. And check out our website, www.krockcast.com. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.